Hello and welcome to Shares Spotlight. Can I welcome Gervaise Heddle, the CEO of Greatland Gold. Welcome, Gervaise.
Thank you very much.
I wanted to give us a bit of an overview of Greatland Gold, your current portfolio of exploration assets in Australia, and what do you think your long-term strategy is for the company?
Sure. So, Greatland Gold, we've been listed on AIM since 2006. We have 6 projects. They're all in Australia, and we own 100% of all those projects, which gives us, great advantage that we're working in a safe jurisdiction, which we know very well, and we can easily vend and joint venture those projects because we own 100% of them, free of any royalties, etc. Our strategy is to take, in essence, very early stage exploration projects and advance them to a point where they become attractive to much larger companies, and potentially those companies come in and earn in or joint venture those projects with us, and our shareholders can share in the upside as our partners drive the projects to the next level again, up to the sort of the late stages of exploration and development.
Talk about partners. Earlier in the year, Earnest Giles, you were drilling and had some good success, and in May you announced a relationship with Newmont Mining.
Yes.
Can you explain a little bit more about that relationship and how that's building and what they're doing on the site currently?
Sure. So you're right. Earlier this year in January, we announced some very good drilling results there, where we outlined a couple of zones of gold mineralisation, some very large zones, one up to 6 kilometres in length. Newmont saw that data, they were very interested in that data, and look, they've come in an agreement with us where they have a first right of refusal over the Earnest Giles property for 6 months. They also have a licence to access the property for 6 months to come and apply their own proprietary techniques, which they use to find gold undercover. So, out there at Earnest Giles, we know the gold is roughly 180 metres below the surface. They have spent a lot of time and money developing proprietary techniques that are adept at finding gold at those depths, and these techniques they're using have found a couple of major deposits for them in Nevada. So they're out there, they're doing that work and really doing their own due diligence on the property, and we hope with a view towards advancing towards some sort of joint venture with them.
What are timelines? I know it's very difficult to say exact timelines, but obviously it's work in progress. Are you looking to see something this quarter, before the end of the calendar year, or into 2018, do you think? Well,
we're constrained in terms of what we can say because of confidentiality under the agreement, but I'd reassure people that a lot of work has been done on the ground there to date, and look, we would hope to have some news for investors regarding Newmont's results or their intentions, within the next couple of months, but we'll just have to wait and see.
You carried out some initial ground survey on the west side of the project. Yes. You've now moved to the east side. How's that progressing?
It was doing very well. So the east side is true virgin territory. I mean, literally, I think there's been no exploration work whatsoever done out there that we know of. And so we wanted to get out there while Newmont has been busy out there themselves. We wanted to have a look at the eastern side and see what have we got. And so we've done some MMI sampling, which is again basic sort of surface sampling to try and detect gold at depth, and that's completed now, and we're awaiting those results. We also have a gravity crew out there as we speak, and they are doing a wide space gravity survey over a large portion of that eastern part, and that will give us a better idea of some of the structural targets that might be there. So if we get ideally you get sort of an MMI signal plus an interesting structural target, and that could create another, we might get another 3 or 4 interesting targets out in the east as well, which just makes the whole package, the whole Earnest Giles package, that's much more attractive to potential partners.
And Newmont talks with you about all areas of Earnest Giles, or just certain sections of it?
Look, they have a licence to access the entire area,
okay,
so it's completely up to them what they want to do. And look, I don't know, as again, we can't really talk about it, but I don't know whether they're interested in one part or another part. I would imagine that given that they are such a big company, they would be interested in the entire amount. We've got 1,800 square kilometres there of greenstone belt, which is a great early stage opportunity for a company that's looking for major deposits, for 10 million ounce plus deposits. So I suspect a big company like Newmont or other potential big companies will want to take the whole package.
Well, Greatland Gold is no longer just a gold company. It is now also into Cobalt, and you've got a project in Panorama. Perhaps you could explain a little bit about Panorama project. Sure. And the scale of it, and what your plans are for this.
Yeah. Look, Panorama's a very interesting project. We're very aware of what's going on with the energy metals, with lithium and cobalt, and we like cobalt because there's an interesting supply and demand story there, particularly on the supply side, with 50% of supply coming from the DRC. And so we were looking around for cobalt opportunities, but it comes back to our philosophy, which is we're looking for large-scale opportunities and things we can own 100% of. And we saw one particular cobalt in streams anomaly that was identified by one of the large companies back in the 1970s, and this is a very big anomaly, like 25 kilometres by 10 kilometres, and we've basically taken 2 licence applications smack bang over the middle of that. So we think that's an exciting prospect, because to have that much cobalt in streams suggests that potentially there's a large mineralised system, but also that mineralised system is near surface. Now obviously there's no guarantees about that, but that's our starting theory. And we're going to be starting our first round of field work out there in early October to try and get a better sense of what's really going on.
And has it been prospected before? Obviously, in the 70s,
so the 70s was the last time, Anglo-American in the 1970s, and I think that's really been the only genuine exploration out there that we're aware of. There's been very little activity out there. There has been some activity by iron ore companies in adjacent properties, because the Pilbara is historically known for iron ore, so there's been some iron ore exploration, but we think the area that we have in licence is prospective for cobalt and also gold, because the underlying geology is greenstone. We think, so we're going to be out there looking for really cobalt and gold and potentially other minerals as well. But look, it's a fascinating sort of anomaly and something to really work on.
Clearly changed the focus of the business from being Greatland Gold to Greatland something. Will you change your name, do you think, or has that not really been discussed at this stage?
Well, look, at the moment our focus is gold. We have the Earnest Giles project is clearly our flagship project at the moment. We also have 2 gold properties in Tasmania with demonstrated high-grade gold mineralisation. Then we have the Patterson project, which again, that's more of an IOCG project, so you've got copper and gold. We know in the Javier on target there's copper and gold. So I think that we're waiting to see how things develop over the next 12 months. I think the next 12 months are going to be a very exciting period, and hopefully it'll become a lot clearer what our company should be called. But for now, I'm very comfortable with the name.
That's good. Name changes don't always work for some people. And just finally, just for our viewers, could you perhaps just sum up what the reason people should consider Greatland Gold for an investment, and maybe just a small snap of some of the news flow that might be coming up in the next 6 months or something?
Well, really, since I've been involved with the company, we've grown the company from a market cap of maybe £1 or £2 million closer to a market cap of about £10 million. And look, I believe that we've really only started a journey here. So, my personal ambition is to build this into a much larger company. I think we have the right projects to do that. We have projects that have scale and are attractive to potentially large companies. We have relationships with those large companies, not just Newmont, but multiple large miners. And look, I think we've got all the right elements in terms of our people and our projects and the nature of our properties to really make this a much bigger company, over the next 12 to 18 months. So look, I'm very excited about our prospects. I think, in terms of key news flow, clearly, what's happening in Earnest Giles, but also, we're going to be on the ground on Panorama. We're also going to be on the ground at Patterson later this year. So we're going to have news on multiple fronts.
And clearly, if Newmont make some decisions with you, that's going to be very big news for the business.
Potentially very big news, yes.
Gervaise, thank you very much indeed for coming and talking to us today.
Thank you.
I hope you've enjoyed the video. If you'd like to find out more information about Greatland Gold, do go to the Shares website, www.sharesmagazine.co.uk, and type in Greatland Gold.